Hello and welcome to the vlog. Bit of a different one today. We've got the boat in the dry dock at Starbridge, ABC Marine's dry dock, my mate Gaz, and we're doing a bit of maintenance on the boat. Good old narrowboat Dodger, and God, doesn't he need it. Looking a bit tired at the moment, and the hull was due for blacking, but instead of putting on standard bitumen, there's a new product in town from SML Marine Paints called Ballastic Epoxy. I've got my little notes here. And basically what it is a 2-pack that you can apply over the top of bitumen. Now, you can't just apply it over the top of bitumen. There is a bit of preparation before you apply the paint, and I'll go through that in a second. This is us just approaching the dry dock. And there's old Dodger. We got it's bank holiday weekend this weekend, so I can't remember my days. It's Tuesday today, and I've been down there for the last 3 days with a grinder, grinding off the hull to as near as back to metal as possible. Kevin from SML Paints explained to me that the only problem they've ever had with this paint is people that think you can just paint it over standard bitumen. You can't do that. There is preparation, and unfortunately a lot of people haven't read the guidelines in the specification sheet of the paint, and had problems with cracking, because basically bitumen or single pack paint is a lot softer than 2-pack paint. So what you get is basically you've got like a hard paint over a soft paint, and when anything hits it, the soft paint underneath moves and the hard paint can't move, so you get cracking. So yep, there's Dodger, looking very tired and worse for wear, but we'll address that this year. And yeah, shall we have a look down and see what's going on down below? So this is a dry dock, for anyone that doesn't know. This is where we service our narrow boats every 2 years if you're bitumen based, or on average this paint can last for 10 years if it's up to 10 years if it's been blasted. It all depends on preparation. It's one of those paints where you really do have to put some effort into the preparation, and you can see on Dodger here, I'm literally, apart from maybe some slight bitumen, I'm back down to the metal, which is what has been recommended in the specification sheet from SML Paints. Now, before this, this is what you're up against. I haven't quite finished here, so what I thought I would do is just show you what Dodger was like. All this is the bitumen coating. Now, I did a bit of ice breaking back in December to go to a job, and I lost a lot of my my bitumen, and hence one of the reasons I wanted to come in early. This looks really bad, but it's actually not that bad. The steel's very good underneath. Obviously this is the ice breaking, which in hindsight is good now because it will save me having to grind that paint off. But Dodger's hull's in really good condition, and because I've looked after it. But when you take a boat out that's been blacked, basically you've got all this where it's been smacked against Armco and stuff like that. This is standard. Plus down here at Starbridge, my mate Gaz's dry dock, ABC Marine, I'll stick his number in the description, or actually I'll stick it down here. They've got a 3000 psi pressure washer, and it absolutely takes a lot off. So all this, like, you know, was blasted off by the pressure washer, and that's the water line there. And you can see I've got next to zero deterioration on the hull. Like I say, Dodger's in really good condition, and I want to keep it that way. So this is why I reached out to SML, asked if they like to do a little bit of a sponsorship deal, because I was interested in their product, and they said, yeah, what we'll do is we'll send you through a 65 foot blacking kit, 2-pack epoxy blacking kit. These usually retail at £282 including delivery, which is a next day AM delivery, which is absolutely brilliant. Literally, I spoke to them in the afternoon before the cut off, and it was with me at think it was 9 o'clock the next morning. So fantastic courier service. Right, so a bit about the paint. To apply the paint, the surface has to be clean, dry and free from contamination, i.e. basically no oils, anything that's going to interrupt the paint, and clean. So you know, this is just bare steel, so this is absolutely brilliant. They advise to rub back to metal as close as possible, which basically this is what I've done. Yeah, so and small areas of 0.2 millimeters are acceptable. This will avoid cracking. Like I said before, if I was to just, and people have done with their products in the past, they've just come along and give this a rough coating, a rough rubbing down, and then they applied the 2-pack on there. Now if you do that, you're just going to get big problems because they are two totally dissimilar paints. For maximum durability, it is recommended that the area should be blast clean to SA 2.5 spec, which is basically you take it in a dry dock that does blasting, and they will blast all the bitumen off, which, to be honest with you, is a lot easier than having to do it yourself. I mean, this is my 4th day now. Where's the old discs? That's the second grinder we're on, kindly loaned to me by my friend Carwin and Jane. Lovely couple. This is what happens. This is wheel number 1, and then they basically explode at the end when they've had enough, or they lose the twists on them. This one here, maybe a little bit of life left in it, but it's gone blunt. This one here had a bit of a wobbly. Looks like my mate Colin Lake's haircut. And this one here, that one, yeah, he's had a wobbly. And this one kind of works, but he's gone a little bit out of trueness, and it vibrates a bit, which tires your arms out. The blue ones here, these are all from Screwfix, by the way. The blue ones here, the Norton discs, 110mm discs, or if it's 115mm, I can't remember now. They are the best ones. They're only where's the one I got in the moment? They do ones like this, but they're yeah, that's them there, the red ones. These are $7.99. These are $9.99, and you'll get near twice as much out of one of those than you get from one of those. So it's false economy to buy the cheap ones. Right, let's go back up and have a look at what we've got for paint in the kit. I'm the Uxter plate, and yeah, the Uxter plate and the yeah, just the Uxter plate, the weed hatch. I'm going to leave in bitumen at the moment. Now the reason this is, fantastic propeller that is. I designed that myself, that propeller. It's a 1915. It works really well with the boat. This setup here is all going to change. I'm going to come back out of the dry dock, into the dry dock, sorry, in 2 years' time. This rudder is quite far away from the propeller, so I want to try and cut this out. I've got a kick in the skeg. I've got rattly, I can't really do it with one hand, but when you that's your cup down there, there's your rudder pin. When that goes in there, this is the pin wears. You can probably actually just see the step in the pin. What you can do is you can shim that out, but to be honest with you, it wants replacing, maybe a smaller cup or some way, either like chop the pin off and put a new bit on, or smaller cup or something like that, or just shimming. Shimming's a bit of a bodge really, but it will get you going till your next blacking, until it's that bad that it needs to be replaced. I haven't quite finished grinding this yet, so you can still see the bitumen. That's not acceptable for 2-pack epoxy. That's got to go down to like there. So it is a lot of hard work, but the benefits, you know, you put in what you get out. So hard work will pay off with this paint. So yes, I'm going to leave that for bitumen because it's all going to get chopped about in 2 years' time. It's not worth doing it at the moment, and I'm pretty up against it with time, if I'm honest with you, because it's like I say, I'm on my 4th day now, and it's yeah, I'm getting back in the water on Friday morning, so I'm hoping and we'll get it all done. Right, so with the kit, this is SML Paints. Freeze here if you like their details. I'll put them in the description, and I'll put the phone number down here now. Check out their website. They've got lots and lots of paints, not just blacking. They do loads of marine paints and also kind of paints for everything really. Really nice company, very friendly company, and down in Gloucestershire, where I'm from. Right, so you get basically in the kit, you'll get your epoxy 2-pack, and then you mix it 3 parts epoxy, 1 part hardener. Or is it 4? I should have really checked it. I better check that. Don't take my advice on that one. You have to check it yourself. And then what I've also gone with, which isn't in the kit, epoxy will dry like a silvery grey eventually. So what I've gone for a top coat, which I'm just going to basically do above the waterline, round below the gunnels, which that will stay black. So yeah, and you'll get your stirrers, your paper overalls, your rollers, loads of stuff in the kit for £285, if I'm honest with you. If you think it's like £80 for a tin of bitumen or something like that, this is where I am at the moment. That's 8, 16, 24, and you're putting on epoxy instead of bitumen. So if you did want to stay with bitumen, by the way, they do a brilliant bitumen base product called Ballastic Blacking. It's one of the highest bituminous content blackings out there for narrowboats, and what that means basically is in a tin of bitumen. The bitumen, I'll just turn you around actually. You don't want to look away all the time. In a tin of bitumen, you've got thinners basically and bitumen, and you apply the bitumen onto the hull, and then the thinners dry, and you're left with the bituminous content of the tin. Now SML's product, Ballastic Blacking, has one of the highest bituminous contents, so it leaves the most bitumen on the hull rather than normal kind of bitumen. So if you're after some really good bitumen, give the guys a call as well. Okay, right, I better get suited and booted and get on with the grinding. I'll see you in a minute. I love narrowboats. The joys of boating. You don't get this on Foxes Afloat, do you? You don't really want to watch me grinding the rest of that hole, do you? So what I'll do is I'll cut you there, and I'll see you tomorrow where we'll be sticking a lick of paint on the hole, and then I'll explain to you the specifications of painting ballastic epoxy by SML Paints. Catch you tomorrow. Yeah. Yes. Job. Welding gauntlets are a must. You notice I haven't got a guard on that grinder. Don't you do it. Put a guard on your grinder. I'm just a very silly boy. I've been using grinders for 30 years. Ah. Buy a boat, they said. Go boating, they said. You'll enjoy it, they said. It'll be a lovely life, they said. All I can say is I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to go for a pint at the pub with the boys, Archie and Spike, take them for a walk. I did walk in the sludge time, I had to go to Screwfix to get some more bits. Oh man, that's 4 days of hell. Right, nice hot shower. I don't know what I'm going to use to get this off, thinners or something. Swinner thinners and Swarfiga. Hey, who needs oil of Ulay? And yeah, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. It's time for painting. I'm not even going to take that off. Catch you later. I'll see you in a bit, boys, alright? You have a sleep. I'll see you in a bit. Right. Get painting. Oh. Morning. Oh, I feel a bit better today. I've had a nice sleep. Everything's aching. The prock's inside me. Nothing aches. So today we should be mainly painting. So the mixer ratio is 4 parts paint, 1 part B, which is a hardener. Got a few things I need to go through. Yeah. Get the technical stuff out of the way. When you buy the paint, you'll get your specifications, your data sheet to let you know everything. So at the moment we're 15 degrees here. So at 15 degrees, touch dry 4 hours, firm dry 10 hours, and I can overcoat in 10 hours. But I'll be on the safe side. I'll do it for the 10 degree one, which is touch dry 6 hours, firm dry 12 hours, overcoat 12 hours. So it's, what is it now? It's Wednesday. So I'm going to get 1 coat on this morning, and then I'm going to put another coat on tonight, and then I'm going to put another coat on tomorrow morning, and I'm going to put another coat on tomorrow night, and that will be ready for overcoat. Basically I'll go in the water at about 8 o'clock. So that's ready for overcoat at 7 o'clock, so I'm cutting it fine, but it's because the grinding's taken so long. Right, let's go through a few specs of the paint. Basically, you've got to do everything. When you get this, you've got to do everything by the book. You can't just chuck it on bitumen like I was saying yesterday. You've got to do everything by the books, otherwise you'll just get problems. In SML, they've had people phoning up, they've said, look, it's 2-pack, you know, I've painted on top of me bitumen, it's cracking. You don't do that. If you read in the specifications, which they obviously haven't, it would have told you what you've got to do, and they haven't done it. They've just done it as if it was blacking. It ain't that product. You've got to do it properly. Right, so this is from SML. They sent me an email, just a few little pointers to put to you. Right, so although you can paint on here, temperature 5 degrees, 16 hours touch dry, firm dry 24 hours, overcoat 24 hours, right? That's the lowest. You cannot paint below 5 degrees. So not really a paint for the winter. Right, SML have told me they preferably would like this paint applied at 10 degrees upwards. Fine, we're okay, 15 degrees. Humidity should not exceed 90%, so the most humid of humid days in the summer basically. Bolt hold temperature should be above 3 degrees, which Dodger is by far, and do not apply when the hold temperature is below 5 degrees. Application temperatures below 10 degrees will be significantly extended and spraying characteristics may be impaired. Okay, and then we've got the drying times, and it's 4 part paint to 1 part component B, which is a hardener. So right, let's mix up our first lot of paint, get it on the hole. Right, so I want to get everything all nicely mixed up first. This has been in the boat with me all night at 20 degrees, so it's nice and warm. Right, and that one there. That's a lot thinner by the looks of things. Right, I've just looked in the box and lovely old SML sent me some goodies. We sent me pens, jotter pads, paint opening tool, paint stirrers. Good old bunch there. Recommend you get your blacking products there. And there's pens. Sent me 2 pens to do a pen. Lovely. Thank you very much, SML. Right, so I reckon I'm going to use this whole tin today. All 5 litres of it. So, well, it's 4 litres in there. 4 litres in a tin. And 1 litre of hardener. So, I reckon I'm open to use 5 litres per coat. And I'm going to put 3 or 4 coats on. What do you reckon, Del? I got my old maxi muscle thing on. Did earlier on. So that's 400, 500. So that's 700. Yeah, so we can do 400 paint. Now I'm going to go for it with a lot. Then we'll see how we get on. I'm going to do 1 big thick coat. They reckon advise first coat heavy brush coat, and then you can get right into any pitting and all that you've got on the hull. So yeah, I'll mix this up and I'll get back to you. Mixing the paint, mixing the paint, mix, 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 mixing the paint, mixing the paint. Also, make sure you use gloves when dealing with chemicals. Right, I've mixed till I can't mix no more. That's lovely. No big fatty sticky residues on the old mixer. In the old Nielsen boat jumper, which I ripped on a job. Right, okay, I'm using a Fortress angled fence brush from Screwfix. Make sure whatever brush you use, it's suitable for this type of paint. Some of them are only suitable for water-based paints, and if you use them in this type of chemical paint, it will 2-pack paint. It will start melting the brushes and stuff like that, and that ain't good. So, right, gloves, brush, paint. Let's go stick it on the hull. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Bristle. I might have too many of them. Yeah, I got a little divot there, see, so I'm just stippling it in there. Get it right in there. This is, I'm going to do one, like I say, 1 heavy brush coat, the rest will be rollers. So I'm going to use a lot more paint on this first coat than I'm going to use on the subsequent coats. So, well, you don't want to sit here watching me paint a whole 120 foot of boat, do you? So what I'll do is I'll run around, get the paint on, then switch back on, and you can come around and have a look with me. Alright? Right, just finished putting that coat on, packed everything away. Bit of a change to plans. I had to do the weed hatch, and I thought, so well, if I'm going to keep the extra plate and if I'm going to keep that in bitumen, then I'm going to have to get some bitumen out and paint it. And since I had to grind the weed hatch off to get rid of the bitumen to paint it, I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to crack on and grind off the extra plate and do it that way. And so basically I've just done the whole boat. So the whole boat is now converted to 2-pack. So let's show you. Oh, it's a bit of a dungeon down here. Yeah, so there's my top part of my weed hatch, the anti-cavitation plate. There's my weed hatch. And yeah, she's all done. I'll take you around. Took me 5 hours to paint that. What I've done is I've put a slap coat on, and I was going to do two roller coats, but I've decided I'm going to do another slap coat. because the temperature's dropped a bit now, so I'm going to leave it 24 hours. I don't think this ain't going to dry in 12 hours because the temperature's gone. It's kind of hovering around 9.5, 10 now. So I'll go down to the 12.5, sorry, the 24 hours, which is the worst case scenario. And then in the morning I can come out, I can whack another slap on there and let that go. I mean, it ain't going to take 24 hours because it ain't that cold. And then whack another slap of paint on there, and yeah, as you can see, absolutely bang on. I'm really happy with that. So that extra plate was an absolute pain to grind. Got the face covered in crap, and the counter plate at the end there, because where it goes under the above the rudder, that was a nightmare. So you have to get in, when you ever blacken your boat, this little bit up here, don't ever forget that, because when they go, you end up getting trails of fuel in your in the canal or the river, wherever you are. And yeah, what happens, you've got a tube up there that goes up through your fuel tank, and if it rots out, your fuel starts leaking into the canal. So it's quite an important bit. So yeah, so brilliant, really happy. One big coat on, get another one on tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. 2-pack boat. So if you get your boat 2-packed with you know, a company that will grit it and all that, it's like between £3,000 and £7,000. It's cost me like 400 and something for the dry dock. Like I say, SML paints donated to paint, so thanks SML, really helped me out there. Brilliant product. I really recommend them to all my subscribers and anyone watching the video. They're really nice company to deal with. Like I said yesterday, their ballastic blacking is the highest bitumen content out of the blacking. So if you want bitumen, or you've got their 2-pack, which is ballastic epoxy, which I've just put on here. Great. It's not it's not onto bitumen 2-pack. You have to prepare it. It will go on to thin bitumen. It won't go on to thick bitumen. I think a lot of people in the past have made that mistake. Yeah, so yeah, it's brilliant. It's all going well. Get that second coat on tomorrow. That'll take us to Thursday, and then 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, it's time to flood the dock and get out. So you don't really want to see me painting another coat of paint, so what I'll do is I'll leave it here, and then I'll see you on Friday morning when the dock's about to be flooded and Dodger's going to be floating again. Catch you there. Oh, stay there, pups. We'll be back in a minute. It's docking day. Right, we've got some really heavy showers today. There's Martha, that's the next boat that's coming in after me, all waiting up, ready to go. Managed to get everything done in time, so happy days. So what we'll do now is we're going to go round the boat. What I always do when I go docking is I get some tubes, just a bit of conduit or something, and I plug the drains. Stops you getting water down your side of your boat and wetting your paint. So we'll get the boat ready now. So unplug everything, get it, all the attachments to land. Oh, and I've built a little bit on the end of the boat for sitting down in the summer, because we're coming into the spring now, so we've got a bit of a chill out area. Currently filling up with water, at least we should be. I don't seem to look like there's a lot of water coming through. Yes it is, yeah, it's working. Ooh, working, lovely. Good. Yeah, so we're all done. That's that undone, all the hoses undone. Let's go downstairs and have a look. Check how the hull is. The lads will be here to do the docking in a minute. It's nearly 8 o'clock, they always turn up at 8 o'clock. Right. Oh, Flipping heck, it's a bit damp down here today. Had some heavy rain in the night. Oh, nice and dry. Lovely. I was getting a bit worried about that. I only put the last coat on yesterday morning. Lovely. Beautiful. Right, lads have just turned up, so I better get myself upstairs. I'm going to be letting some water in here in a minute, and I don't want to be in here when they do it. I'll see you in a sec. Here it comes. In she comes. It takes half an hour to fill up. Oh, it's all filling up now nicely. And I better get back on the boat, otherwise I'm going to get wet feet. Because this goes underwater, this catwalk. We're getting there. She's up under the boat now, just touching the hull. You alright, Spiky boy? You hear all those scary noises, yeah? Don't worry, we'll be floating in a minute. We'll be alright.
The roof needs doing as well. What, sorry? Oh, the roof?
Yeah, that's the next job. I've got to do the gunnels and the roof, work my way up. Ah, it's nice to be back out on the cut.
Okay, Joe.
Alright, bud. So the hounds have come out to join us now. Hi, Spiker boy. Archibald. So what I'm going to do now is where that green boat, Martha, he's going to go in now, and I'm going to go where he is, and I'm going to stop here tonight because there's my van over there. I've got to unload that, some bits out of that onto the boat ready for travelling. So I'll stop there the night, and Gaz is going to take me up to a famous pub called the Beacon Hotel at Sedgley today, and we're going to have a few beers to celebrate. Let's go in, have us a boat all parked up now. I'm going to stop here tonight. Let's go and see how the other boat's getting on. There's narrowboat Martha in the dock, and the whole process starts again. Right, well, I hope you found that of some use. It was a lot of hard work, but we got there in the end. It was yeah, I don't want to be touching any more grinders for a bit, take it that much. Yeah, so SML Paints, thank you very much. Just thanks for investing in the channel and helping me out, I really appreciate it. It's been 2 weeks now since we actually did the job, and I'm amazed at the quality of the paint. I'll show you down here actually. So you can see I've bashed into locks and everything, and it's not even come off. It really is a tough paint system, and I'm really happy I used it. A few thank yous, obviously SML Paints, to Gaz for the dry dock and helping me out. You're a good mate, and I'm really lucky to have you. And to Austin, Texas fans for the coffees, to someone anonymous for the coffees, and to Greg for the coffees. So I really appreciate it, and it came in handy back then because I was straight up the pub afterwards and had a few beers. So you bought me some beers and you bought the dog some treats, mate. So Anyway, I'm not working now. I've kind of calmed down, so I'm out travelling. I'm actually at Nosal at the moment, and I should be travelling again now, so I'm going to try and upload videos 9 o'clock every Sunday morning, but might not be next week, but be the week after. So anyway, thanks for supporting the channel and watching the video, and please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.